Hello guys and welcome to the Nerd Hangout. In this episode I am going to show you how you can create your character to enhance your role-playing ability. Let's go. So guys, here we are at the character selection screen. The first thing I like to do when creating a character is to choose their appearance. To choose their race, I'm sorry. For this build, I'm going to go with the Drow. You can of course go with any race you would like, but personally for me, I'm going to play the Drow. I have played about 70 hours of Baldur's Gate and only played 1.5 playthroughs. So this is a fantastic game and I think I'm going to play through early access about 10 times at least. So let's get started. The Drow. We can play the Loath-sworn Drow or the Seldarine Drow. The Loath-sworn Drow is the typical Drow that lives in the Underdark and praises the Spider Queen Loath. The Loath-sworn Drow you hear about when reading Homeland or actually any of the Drizzt series. Drizzt himself is not exactly a Loath-sworn Drow, but he is raised up in the city of Menzoberranzan where the Drow reside. But we are going to go with the Seldarine Drow. The Seldarine Drow are the result of an ancient schism between the elven deities Corellon and Lolth. The latter's treachery drove the Drow into the Underdark, where they splintered into warring factions. Seldarine Drow can be found seeking allies from all over Faerun, aiming to settle their conflict with Drow and each other by any means necessary. So they are aiming to settle their conflict with Lolth. Already there you have a role-playing opportunity. We're going with the Seldarine Drow. Typically in the Underdark, in Menzoberranzan, the female Drow have the most power, the most strength, and they are the most common warriors. We are going with a Seldarine Drow, we are going to roam the material plane, and we are going to play a male. So next, let's go to the appearance. This one looks kind of old, there's a bit of wrinkles on the cheeks. We are going to the face. Let's look at what we have. This one's a bit more fair, a bit younger. This one looks a bit younger, I think, yeah. This one's also young. That one, this one looks, yeah, middle-aged, a bit hardened. He has seen some stuff. So let's go with that one. For the skin color, I always imagine that those living in the Underdark have a bit of a lighter skin tone because they never see the light of day. We roam the material plane, so I would like to go with a bit of a darker color. That suits me fine. This is a bit too dark for my tastes, so let's go with Dusk Tone 8. The eye colors, you can go with anything from a range of white to purple to black. The purple is of course a nod to Drizzt, who is known from said Homeland series I talked about a few moments ago. But I am going to go with let's go with a black eye color, because why not? The hairstyle, there are extremely many hairstyles. I believe there are 31, 32, 33, 35 hairstyles. I am not going to bore you with every single hairstyle, but I am a bit of a, I don't want to call it stereotypical man when it comes to Drow or elves. I like my elves bearing long hair. So that's a start. I think, was it, no, the standard one, where is it? That one, the standard one, I think Legolas has this haircut, so why not? Let's go with that one. And the hair color, the Drow are known to have white hair. But since we have a Seldarine Drow who walks the material plane. Let's go a bit darker. That's brown. Why does it say gray? It's definitely brown. This is a blonde? That is almost white. That's white. White. Let's go with this gray. It's a bit darker. And tattoos. You can choose various options of tattoos, and this also can bring some light to your role-playing experience. Like for example, this one, tattoo one, you have 3 birds. They can symbolize a lot of things. They can symbolize fallen family members, or living family members for that sake. They can symbolize fallen compatriots from a long time ago, from when you were an adventurer. Why are you level 1 when you were an adventurer at that point? Maybe you fell out of favor with your god. Your god lost interest in you and not banished you, but left you and took all your powers with him or her or them. So you have decided to become a cleric of some other god, say Selune, who we have here. Nevertheless, the tattoos can be an example of a lot of things. So do we want a tattoo? What about this one? This one's cool. Why not? Tattoo intensity just says how bright your tattoo is. We are going with a black tattoo because it looks cool. Makeup, let's see. Eyeliner, a bit dark here. That, like this maybe. The eyeliner really complements the tattoo in my opinion. So let's just go with that. So we have completed our appearance. Let's go to the class. I am going to go with a cleric this time, and specifically the light domain cleric. The light domain is offered by deities of justice, majesty, and primordial flame, providing spells that dispel darkness and harm the undead. This is so unlike the typical drow, because the typical drow thrives in darkness. But this one is a Seldarine drow, and we walk the material plane. We have not seen the Underdark at all. So we are going with the light domain. And the light domain gives us the subclass feature Warding Flare. Shield yourself with divine light, use your reaction to impose disadvantage on an attacker, potentially causing their attack to miss. So that is a really good subclass feature. It offers a lot if you are like the front figure of the party, so you can mitigate the damage output from your foes. Spells, you get Cure Wounds and Bless, and you get Fairy Fire and Burning Hands and Light as your cantrips. These are all great spells. Burning Hands, a decent level 1 area of effect spell. Fairy Fire, it requires concentration. It says here concentration required. So be mindful of that, but this is a great spell. It gives all your party members advantage on your foes if they fail their saving throw. Bless, a fantastic spell, gives a d4 to attack rolls and saving throws, up to 3 creatures, but if you cast it at a higher level, you can expand the Bless, so you can target 4 creatures, 5 creatures, and so on. These are your spells. You can pick and choose from whatever you like. But this, guys, is not a character optimization build, it is a role-playing build, so we are going to deviate a bit from the spells. We are going to choose a deity. There are a lot of deities to choose from, but I have decided to go with Corellon Lyrithian, creator of the elves. Corellon Lyrithian oversees the elven pantheon as a whole, providing blessings to those who study art, magic, and nature. We study magic, essentially, because we are a cleric, and thus Corellon shall provide us with the magical power we need. Corellon, fun fact, creator of the elves, created the elves maybe by, not because he wanted to, but because it so happened that Grumsh, the lord or the god of the orcs, cut Corellon, and from Corellon's blood spurred the first elves, the primal elves, and so on. The Spider Queen Lolth had some friction with Corellon, and thus Corellon cast Lolth into the Underdark along with her Dark Elves. And the Dark Elves have of course fallen out of favor with Corellon. I am going to roleplay this like this character is on the prime material plane and he is searching for redemption in Corellon. He wants to be in Corellon's favor once again. He has shunned the Underdark, he has shunned the Dark Elves, he has shunned the Spider Queen herself, and so is on a path of retribution to come into Corellon's good graces again. So that is what we have. The next thing, we can go to the origin. We have some character backgrounds here. The Acolyte, Charlatan, Entertainer, Folk Hero, Guild Artisan, Noble, Hermit, Outlander, Sage, Sailor, Soldier, Urchin, Acolyte. Okay, we have been through the role. There are a lot of backgrounds you can choose from, but for this video I am going to choose the Acolyte background. It fits perfectly. You have spent your life in service to a temple, learning sacred rites and providing sacrifices to the god or gods you worship. Maybe this character hasn't spent their entire life, but some of their life. And thus, Corellon now has decided to bring some of his power to this character. Character name. This is one of the worst things for me because I never can decide what to name a character. So I am going to take a bit of time to think about that. I will be with you guys in a jiff. Okay guys, I have chosen a character name. The character is named Nakshasha. Tiernos. Nakshasha Tiernos. What a drow name. Of course, drow names cannot be simple. They have to be complex. You have to strain every muscle in your body to try to pronounce their names. But Nakshasha Tiernos is a bit lenient. So Nakshasha is a cleric of Corellon. His main objective is to come in Corellon's good graces again and hopefully one day get the gift of reincarnation. Yeah, you guys should know Dark Elves, they don't reincarnate like the elves do. So my mission, or Nakshasha's mission, is to come in Corellon's good favor so that he once again can be reincarnated into maybe a light elf or a high elf or a wood elf, whatever. So guys, there we already have a motivation for Nakshasha to venture in the material plane. So for the skills, we have religion and insight inherited because of our background, our acolyte background, and we get to choose 2 other skills. I will go with the history skill and the medicine skill. Medicine because he's a cleric, and history because for an elf studying Corellon, it's good to know a bit of history and a bit of lore to know how maybe someone who has been out of Corellon's favor got back in. So let's go with the history. The abilities. So let's drow elves by nature have +2 to dexterity and +1 to charisma. Strength. I don't want my drow to be weak, so I'm going to go with 10 strength. Dexterity, on the other hand, we are going to not to max out. That's 17 is an odd number, and it only gives us +3 modifier no matter what if you have 16 or 17. So we are going to choose 16. Wisdom, our primary spellcasting ability, is going to be Wisdom. We're going to pump that up to 15 because we can't go any higher, and 14 is on the it's on the lower side. We're going to go with 15. For charisma, we are going with 9 charisma because whenever a creature on the material plane, at least in my head, sees a drow, they don't get a good impression. And as the saying goes, you only have one chance of making a good impression. And I believe that when a creature sees a drow elf, they retract. They become afraid. They become unsure. So, sadly, by the nature of him being a drow, I am going to put his charisma at 9. Intelligence, I'm going to pump up. I'm not going to pump it up. I'm going to put it at 10. I'm not going to have him be this intelligent creature. He is a normally intelligent creature, so to say. Constitution, I'm going to pump up to 14 because I want him to be kind of on the front line. I'm not sure if I'm going to have him wield a shield, but at least 2 swords. Maybe a shield. He's not going to be one-handed. Two-handed, dual wield, or maybe a shield. I'm not sure. Dexterity influences our damage, our attacks, and initiative and armor class. It is perhaps the best ability to max. Also, because we are going with a dex build, it's fantastic for us, but even for a sorcerer or for a wizard, dexterity is great because it influences your initiative and it influences your armor class. So guys, this is what we have. We have Nakshasha. He's an acolyte of, let's go here. He's an acolyte of Corellon. He is going with the light domain. He's a Seldarine drow. And then, of course, you can expand on your backstory. Like, are you a hermit? Or do you have a family? Do you have a clan? Do you have anyone who loves you? Or are you just on your lonesome trying to figure out what your place in this life is? There are a lot of things to think about, guys, so I recommend you do that. When you will have to choose from the options that the NPCs give you, you oftentimes get 4 options. The options will pick themselves because that's what your character would do. Don't think what you would do, think what your character would do. That's how you create a fantastic story. So yeah, guys, that was it for this episode. Thank you for joining me, and please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. How would you build your character? How did you build your character? Please come with a backstory. Come with why you chose the light domain. Why did you choose an acolyte? Or why did you choose a charlatan? Whatever the cause, leave it in the comments, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you, and goodbye. Oh, that's the voice.
Slot, but no rune.
Shut up! So guys, there we already have a motivation for Corellon. No, not for Corellon. For what's his name? Nakshasha.